On today's show, Nvidia drops the screen on its Shield handheld and turns it into a set-top box.
A class that you can use all that superhero and comic book information on to ace, and it's taught by Stan Lee.
Ooh, I like that. And NASA shows off its weird, simple SUPERball robot that might be used to explore moons like Titan. Pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm your co-host, Ashley Skeller. Join me as always, man to my right, Pizza King, Kale Anonymous.
Hey, I'm the king.
I like that the fonts.
What do you want me to go with?
Nice, good
Oh,
fonts
the
there.
fonts,
It's really nice fonts there.
Hey.
That's
I know I say this every day. No, I don't actually say it every day. But there's these first two stories I just love to death as a super fan of both of these
There's some
worlds.
really good stuff happening today. So we don't want to.
This one and then this one.
It's like a wax on, wax off almost, kind of.
If you are me watching the show, you're gonna love these first two stories. So
That's
let's
right.
get into the headlines.
I like the idea that you might have a clone somewhere watching this show.
Hi, Kale.
Eating pizza, just going like, the show sucks.
Hey, that's me.
All right, so let's talk about Nvidia. Nvidia had a press conference at GDC this week, Game Developers Conference up in San Francisco, and had some very interesting things to say. But for me and you, the really interesting thing that they had going on was the Nvidia Shield has transformed. It's no longer a controller with a screen attached to it. It's now a set-top box, and it's like a little wedge too. It's like this cool little wedge-looking thing.
Yeah.
So it has 16 gigs of storage inside. You can see it's actually really cool looking. Like on the top, there's some design to it there, which I like. I like that it's not just like a plain box. There's some really nice design to it. 16 gigs of storage on board, powered by the Nvidia X1 processor, which is very nice. Comes with the controller that you're used to seeing that Shield, the Nvidia Shield has had before, just without the little clamshell screen.
Did you say it comes with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Comes with the controller, and then it uses Android TV, so it can access some Google Play games and apps, as well as Grid, which is Nvidia's streaming service. It streams games over the internet, so you can play games. You can play all kinds of games, like Arkham City. Like there are so many good games. I'll read it.
Not downloading, streaming.
Streaming,
Okay.
so directly to your TV, which is pretty cool. And from what I have heard, people who have used Grid or have tried it really like it and say that it's pretty solid. It's not really choppy. It's pretty smooth, which
You
is
have
great.
piqued my interest. Tell me more.
Okay, so Grid is actually right now, if you have a Shield, as far as I'm aware, it's free, but they're going to charge for the service starting in June. No pricing yet, but I would imagine, if I had to guess, maybe it would be somewhere in the neighborhood of like
$25?
I think it might be less. Because the thing is so you think about Netflix, and it's like, okay, that's $8 a month. But then you think about GameFly, which is one game at a time, but a physical copy of the game mailed to you. That's $15 a month. So I don't see why it couldn't be $15, maybe $20. Like I don't know. I think they could really make a play at the sort of streaming video game services. Like they could really cement themselves as the provider. If Grid is like the provider, like the Netflix of streaming movies or whatever. They could really
tackling that either, so
no,
it's perfect.
like not as well. I mean, not as well as they'd hoped. I mean, I think there's been like some kind of runs at it, but like they haven't really done as well as I think Nvidia can really do in this space. So Grid is kind of exciting.
How much? How much is that? I don't think you've said that yet.
So Grid, it doesn't have pricing yet, but the Shield, the set-top box Shield, Nvidia Shield will now be with a controller $199, and it comes out in May.
Really? So it's basically what everything that the Steam machine, if you've been keeping up on gaming, Steam has been promising they want it. Well, they've said they want to make a console that has all the PC games on it.
Kind of like this, yeah.
But it seems like this is doing that, but without having to download everything. And Steam machines have been like from $400 to $4,000 in price.
Right, and so this is very interesting. Like on the Grid website, some of the featured games they have for Grid are...
so these are the games. Okay.
These are some of the featured games. It's not all of them, but Batman Arkham Origins.
That is an ugly, ugly controller.
But you know what's funny is it's actually really comfortable in hand. Like, have you ever held the Shield?
Yes.
It's really well made, and I like that it has a little remote.
Okay, anyway, so here are the games. Here are the games.
Borderlands 2.
Ooh.
Witcher 2. Alan Wake and Alan Wake American Nightmare, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, Borderlands, Brutal Legend, Darksiders 2, a bunch of Lego games like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, like all that stuff. My favorite, one of my favorite platforms of all time, Psychonauts, available on Grid. And Stacking, another Double Fine game. There's a bunch of Double Fine stuff on here, but yeah, it looks like featured-wise, there's some decent titles here. Yeah. And then, like I said, it has access to Android, so it has access to the Google Play Store, which means you can play games like Crysis 3, you can play Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which is going to be coming soon, the Telltale games, so like Game of Thrones, Wolf Among Us, like all that stuff's available. So I think it's a really good time and a really good, not for lack of a better word, a really good play for that market. Like, I think it's a really good move. I think it's really smart. I'm
very interested in a few things, and fill me in if they've mentioned these. Playing with friends, co-op, connecting, counts, that kind of thing.
I didn't see anything about that yet.
Apps? Did they talk about apps? Maybe they have Netflix, maybe they have Hulu.
They said Google Android TV, and they said apps and games. So I'm assuming you will have access to Google Play apps that are made for Shield. So I can't imagine that like people like Netflix, Amazon, Hulu aren't going to want to get in on this. So I can see them all kind of getting on board.
Okay.
So I would imagine, yes, they would be available.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And are they releasing the Shield any cheaper? Just the portable one?
It looks, it's...
Because I've wanted one of those for a while.
They might just be done with that at this point. Like when the set-top box comes out, that might be like, this is the next evolution of Shield, so we're going to leave the little clamshell handheld behind.
Okay.
But we'll see.
So my question to anyone that is interested, including yourself, would you be willing to replace one of your current consoles with that?
No. But here's the thing. But here's the thing. I don't have a problem buying an Apple TV for $100. And if I could buy
it's $200.
Something similar to that with a really nice solid controller, which if you buy a controller for Xbox, it's $60.
Yeah.
So why not just buy a whole system?
This is a crazy good Christmas gift, too.
Yeah.
Remember this.
Remember it.
It's a really good Christmas gift. They'll probably knock the price off like $20
I'm sure there'll be like some sale
Christmas
or something around holidays. But like I said, when you consider, okay, well, I could buy like a set-top box for $100 plus a controller that can, link up via Bluetooth. That's $60. It's like, why not just buy this? So to me, it makes sense. The price point totally makes sense.
And one note real quick, not to artificially extend this, but I think the reason why this makes sense on Tomorrow Daily is because this is like an advancement as far as like streaming and gaming and technology and getting it all into one little thing and having it be streaming and killing off hard media from brick and mortar places.
This is kind of the future of our entertainment. I mean, this is the way it's going. So.
Incorporate some VR into this, which Nvidia has a VR headset, and we're good to go.
We're watching you. Well, and that could be a Grid thing where you could stream stuff right into your Nvidia VR headset. So
you heard it here first.
Unconfirmed, allegedly.
You might have.
Total speculation.
You want to talk about the more future of nerding?
I really do.
Okay, so if you've ever wanted to actually use all the knowledge you know about comic books, whether it be like, hey, I know the backstory of, the Vision or Captain America, and you want to use all of that, or maybe learn more about that, there is now a course that is available, and it's taught by Stan Lee.
This is pretty amazing.
The father of comic books. Now, this is on edx.org, which is this website where they offer some kind of like unorthodox classes.
The
it's like online stuff.
Does this. So they offer these like online courses that you can either audit or pay a little extra to get this like verification thing.
So they partnered up with Stan Lee to create this course called The Rise of Superheroes and Their Impact on Pop Culture.
Wait, were you about to do a Stan Lee impersonation? Do it for the class name.
The Rise of Superheroes with their impact on pop culture.
You sound like my grandpa.
Excelsior! Well, I don't know. Anyway, so it's taught with Stan Lee and Michael Uslan, who is the executive producer of the Lego Movie and the Dark Knight series and Batman vs. Superman, a whole bunch of stuff.
That guy is legit.
And so they'll basically start the evolution of superheroes from folklore, because it's all kind of based in folklore, and myth from across the globe. And narrow it down to the rise of superheroes in the 1930s and their role on society, because superheroes are kind of our mythological creatures. If you complete a verified certificate in the course, you will actually get original artwork by Stan Lee that is also signed by him and Michael.
That's delightful.
So it's actually really cool.
That is
so
really
again,
cool.
it was if you want to get into it, it's a $50 minimum fee.
And that's for the verified thing, right?
Yeah, for the verified thing.
But I think you can do it free if you don't want that.
Yeah, you can do it for free, but
you
don't
can
be
do
an
it for
idiot.
free, you
You
guys.
can audit the course for free, yes.
Audit the course. But if you want
I was
that
gonna
really
get
cool
to that.
certificate, that's the thing, right?
Right, yeah. So there you go. If you want to check it out, it's on edx.org. I think I'm gonna take this course.
I feel like I want to do it too. I went on and like registered, and I'm like, now I'm just deciding whether I want the certificate or if I just want to audit the course. Because I'm like, I'm not
I
gonna
don't want
like
the certificate because they can like frame it and stuff like
you
that.
could frame it, and so it's like, well, maybe I want that. But then you can actually just FYI, if you are going to school, you can actually use this certificate for things like, coursework. Like if your university is willing to accept it as coursework as like an elective, you could potentially ask them if they would, which is kind of awesome.
That's awesome. There you go. So
I like that. So $50, and you get Stanley. Like, are they going to be? They're going to be like online.
Yeah.
So it's an online course.
They're going to share kind of the responsibilities of teaching. Stan Lee is a pretty great speaker.
Yeah.
But I imagine he won't be doing all of it. He's very busy.
Yeah.
It'll probably be mostly Michael.
Okay.
Because I mean, he's very busy too, but I assume he has more free time than
There's
Stan.
probably some Smithsonian people
Stan the
involved
Man
as well,
Lee.
like
Yeah.
some historical. Because I saw in the thing it said like they wanted to talk about like how comic books, like when they talk about the history of comic book characters, they go through things like how comic books almost got stamped out because of like McCarthyism in the 50s and like stuff like that, which I find super fascinating.
I want to take this course. Yeah. I think I'm going to do the $50 course.
We're going to be A+ students. We're going to bring our red apples for Stan Lee and Mike Uzlan. And we're gonna do it. And we're gonna get A's. We're gonna A+.
I said his name right, Mike Uzlan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's that guy's big time. So that actually brings me to our hashtag of the day, which is TD Schooled. And I think I want to know if you could take any course, what would it be, and who would your teacher be?
You go first.
I think I would want to learn. Well, okay, wait. Can you verify? Is this fictional people or real life people?
I'd say fictional. I say you
fictional
can
people.
go.
I can go fiction.
Go both, yeah.
Oh man, that makes it so much harder. I think I would want, this is really dumb, but I think I would want to take an illusion class with Joe Bluth from Arrested Development. Like illusions with Joe Bluth. Like I think that would be really fun and like awful, but really fun.
Right.
I'd of course audit that. I would not pay.
I would take a filmmaking class with Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, The Room.
Who made The Room.
Oh my God.
Because I want to learn how to like really make a bad
techniques.
movie. I want to make a really, really bad movie.
He's got some techniques there.
Hi, Tomorrow Daily. I think that would be amazing. Just to hear him talk. Just to hear him like try to be like, you put the camera in the corner, it's weird. I don't even know what accent I'm doing.
This is
so
the
what is it?
best thing.
TD Schooled?
Yeah.
I say
class?
Also, if you like own one of your friends, like if you like zing him online, hashtag TD Schooled too.
Yeah, also just TD
Schooled.
Schooled.
Someone's like, oh, this coffee was burned, and you'd be like, it's not burned, you idiot. It's TD Schooled.
Yeah, you can totally use that
and
forever.
I'll read those ones. I can't wait.
Read those and favorite them. Okay, we got to talk about this last story.
Okay.
So NASA, this is kind of crazy. We all saw Curiosity land on Mars, unless you're a baby and you missed that, which is fine. You're excused.
A baby.
But it was really hard to land this giant car-sized rover on a planet very far away.
Right.
So what you're seeing right now on the screen is something called, it's a concept called tensegrity. So what this is rigid components connected by flexible materials. So you can see there's sort of cables that are kind of elastic, and then they have these rods that are part of the structure. And it looks very bouncy, right? So we're watching it kind of bounce up and down here. So NASA has this interesting little robot called the SUPERball bot. And that, what you were just seeing, the actual real life thing, not this simulation, is the SUPERball bot. And this was one of the earlier builds of it. So
oh, it's got motors in it.
yeah, they have actuators in there. So that was an early one with 6 actuators in there. And so the point of this is, SUPERball is built around that concept of tensegrity, and impacts are not as terrifying if you have a device like this. So if it falls off a little cliff, or if it hits a pothole, that can be really dangerous for something like Curiosity, but it's not for something like this because it can just readjust itself. And it moves. This is the new version of SUPERball. This is the big giant version of what the SUPERball bot is. And you can see it's obviously evolved quite a bit. It moves by tightening and loosening the elastic structures in between the rods.
That's great.
Just like we do our muscles, which is pretty cool.
Really cool.
And so the goal of this is, because I know we like talking about goals.
Yeah, you always got another goal so they can see where they're going.
Exactly. The goal of this is to put a payload in the center of the SUPERball. So what they're saying is if you're looking at this device, and in the, you can actually see in the simulation, like when we were looking at that, there's like a little sphere in the middle of it. So they're saying, okay, well, maybe we could have like a sensor or a camera or whatever it is in the middle of that device protected by the tensegrity robot. And so when it moves, it keeps it safe in the middle. It's sort of suspended in the middle and can take some damage because it gets diffused. The force of impact is diffused across this robot.
Yeah, it seems like it would take a lot of the guesswork out of, you know, like landing stuff. So you could just be like, all right, we're going to toss it onto the planet.
Oh, no, okay, Kale, you literally just described exactly what the image shows of how they would deliver this payload to a planet. They showed like a thing where they had a spacecraft fly above the surface and literally just open the bottom and like fling out the thing and just let it fall to the surface.
I think it'd save a lot of money in the space program.
Well, and a lot of calculations too.
A lot of calculations, a lot of time.
You can be a little looser about it.
Right. Well, because a lot of people, some people get questionable about like the space program's wasting a lot of money because this thing didn't work and this thing didn't work. And then if you're building these things, you're like, yeah, we toss it on there.
Yeah, we just throw it out.
My mom has a dog toy that's kind of like this. It's like this.
I know. No, there's a baby toy too that is like built on that exact structure.
Kind of bounce it around. Yeah. So I mean, you're just like, here you go, play with this, and tell me if you can.
So they've been adding actuators over time to this SUPERball, and right now the current version has 12. So they've gone from 6 to 12, and then the finished one, the goal is 24, and they want at some point to be able to, they think at some point they might be able to use SUPERball to explore the surface of, say, Titan. So they would do a flyby and then just drop it on the surface.
It's kind of cheaper, too. Like
it's a lot cheaper.
It seems like it'd be way cheaper, and then you could throw a bunch of them.
You don't have a moving science lab.
Imagine that. Imagine we made like 30. And then we had, mission control had like 30 dudes.
And then just
students.
dump them out.
You can even get students. Just like drive them around and like look around. You just, find a planet and just go around it.
Well, and they said
they meet in the middle like Benjamin Button.
The cool thing about the tensegrity devices is they're very compact. You can fold them down into very small things and then just like drop them out and then they expand. So super cool. I thought this was so awesome.
All right,
like I think we should just start using this for everything.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. It's Wednesday, so we have a mod squad, an old friend, if you will, a repeat mod squatter, somebody we've seen stuff from before.
Oh.
And then we also have your user feedback and our photographer today, so don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back to the show. I hope you enjoyed those dancing origamis. They were delightful. I know, really, who doesn't? So it's Wednesday, which means we have another round of Mod Squad. Mod Squad? I don't know, we don't have a graphic. I just like to think of it as like a 60s spy movie, like James Bondish. Mod Squad, Mod Squad. I don't know. Anyway. Listen, I'm doing my best here, all right? So it's time for Mod Squad. This is, as I said, a familiar face. Olivier C. has returned to Mod Squad on this week's show with his, we saw the drone Millennium Falcon.
Which was awesome, and it was everywhere.
Which was super awesome, yeah, and then it was all over the place. Now,
us first, but whatever.
Totally us first. But now Olivier C. has returned with what he promised, which is a TIE interceptor. He's got a TIE fighter.
Oh, nice.
TIE fighter quadcopter now. It looks amazing. See, okay, the Millennium Falcon was pretty good, but it had all the big drone holes in it, like the quadcopter holes in it. And so it was just sort of a shell on the outside. This, on the other hand, looks way cooler, I think.
Most impressive.
Yeah, super good. It is custom carbon, and it's a custom carbon and aluminum frame. So he's like, these are all like custom.
Yeah.
He does all these crazy custom things, which is pretty cool. In the video, it's really loud.
I am tired of this guy only building one. I want to see a bunch of TIE fighters,
of them.
And I want him to fly him over Comic-Con.
And I want him to fight the Millennium Falcon. It should be chasing the Millennium Falcon one.
So you want space warfare?
I do, just with drones.
Enough.
Like I
want
to remake I want to just recreate like a space fight with drones, like a Star Wars space fight.
You said it's very loud and it looks like it can't go very fast.
Well, because the extra weight. So the extra weight of the frame obviously like slows it down.
Well, I mean that is a big hurdle because I don't think TIE fighters go that slow.
No, they definitely don't.
I hate to be critical, Oliver.
I know, as if we could do any better.
Yeah.
Ours would be like a bunch of Scotch tape and paper, and we just throw it.
I have a hard time opening a juice box, let alone building that thing. But that's very cool.
No, it's super good.
You know that this is going to lead to like ThinkGeek making these.
Of course.
If
like,
not
we'll
little
see these,
tiny
little ones that are like
Do they have those?
Palm-sized ones. No, I would love to see.
They probably would.
Yeah. Maybe April Fool's Day this year when they introduce like the fake stuff that becomes real. Maybe it'll be one of those. That's what maybe that. All right, guys, let's talk about your user feedback. We talked about Robear yesterday, the Japanese robot bear nurse.
Yeah, that's scary.
That was adorable and also scare-sighting.
It walked the line. Yeah.
Scare-dorable.
Scare-dorable.
Scare-dorable. And we asked you guys what you would want your Robear to do for you, and you guys had some really great answers. Andre wrote in and said, Robo Wing Woe or Man, so a wingman or a wing woman. Or Robo Vacation Buddy. It would be funny to see someone get me a date with the help of a robot. Listen, Andre, I just want you to know you would not need help getting a date if you had a robot friend. I mean, it would be pretty easy.
That's true.
It's like dudes with a puppy. Like women just like that's like an urban legend. Is that true? Because you're a guy.
I don't. Maybe because you're in the sort of like robot lover.
No, it's like a movie trope, like where it's like a guy with a puppy and the girls all come up. They're like, oh, it's so cute.
But my girlfriend's afraid of robots. Like she's afraid they're gonna take over the world. She's generally concerned about that. So I don't think like if she saw me at a bar with Chappie that she'd be into it. Like she'd be like, all right.
Nope.
And also, you look maybe a little lonely if you're hanging out with a robot.
That's true. Maybe you can't get any human friends. That's kind of weird. Maybe that strikes people as kind of weird.
I like it.
I like where you're going with that.
I like where you're going.
Neil wrote in and said, I'm in the military, so I need a robot that shaves my face overnight. It'll get me an extra 5 minutes in bed every morning.
I hate to be critical on all of these. Very dangerous.
I was going to say,
because
if
you toss
give it
and
a razor, and you're just giving a robot a razor. Like, that's dangerous in and of itself.
I do like that because he has no time, he needs something to fix.
Just please shave my face, so I just want to sleep in a little.
Kudos on that. So, like that. You need the George Jetson thing, where it pops in my bed,
does all the things. Yeah,
okay.
I like that. I'm going to try not to butcher your name because I might be terrible at this, but Sayafika?
Yeah, Sayafika, yeah.
Sayafika says, the robot already existed in the movie, just a nice-looking, soft, huggable robot. Yes, it's Baymax. It's pretty close to Baymax.
How do we do it? Okay, how do we do it? I think I saw a lot of comments for that on YouTube. So all you YouTube users, I read their comments.
You guys crushed it.
They were like, Baymax. And then they also said first.
Yeah. First Baymax. First Baymax. And then lastly, Joey emailed us and said, a robot to stop me from coming up with stupid robot ideas. Oh, the irony. I like that.
You know what I saw a lot of on YouTube that I'm surprised nobody mentioned here was that it looked like a robot from Friday Night at Freddy's.
Oh,
Five Nights at Freddy's. Everyone's
so
like, oh my God, it's Five Nights at Freddy's, because it's like this
adorable
bear
looking, but
that's
also
kind of happy,
robot.
and then it could after they said that, I couldn't unsee it. It's like this thin line between Baymax.
Do you know what else I can't unsee? This is sort of it. Once someone said it, now I can't unsee it. Is Jason Momoa's Aquaman?
Yeah.
Ralph Garman said it looks like John Travolta in Battlefield Earth, and now I can't unsee that picture. And I'm like, no, you ruined it for me, Ralph Garman. Why?
Oh.
Now you and all of you will never be able to unsee that with me. You're welcome. You can thank at Ralph Garman on Twitter for that. Okay, guys, it's time for our very last piece of user feedback. It is time for our phone talker for the day. Pretty sure I just ruined Kale's whole entire week with that. But it wasn't my fault. It's Ralph Garman's fault.
So then Rob Zombie looks like the guy from Battlefield Earth.
Yes.
World's closing in.
It's all closing in on me.
Like
Ayman wrote into us and said, hi, Tomorrow Daily. I'm Ayman from Sudan. Sudan, of all places. That's
Nice.
amazing. First write in from Sudan. I watch the show every day. Just love it. Ashley, you're the pulp of the show. Kale always makes me laugh. I send to you a photo that I took by my old Galaxy S4 in a restaurant in Khartoum from 2 years ago. We were studying for an exam in this restaurant. I saw the light between the trees and loved the view. Hope you'll like it and put it on the show. With love, Ayman. Really good picture.
And
I like that.
solid compliment.
Yeah.
Very
That's
good.
really nice.
You're
I like the
the
lamp
pulp.
post. I'm the pulp.
Does that mean I'm
Like
the
the
juice?
orange. Yeah,
I
you're the
gotta
juice
say,
and I'm the pulp.
It's very
like
poetic.
it.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm sorry that I got so distracted by that, but like when someone, really
Somebody
verbose,
says something really nice
yeah,
and
it's creative.
like that is really creative. I don't think maybe only someone from Sudan could come up with that description.
Tomorrow Daily, getting distracted by your comments when you're showing us cool photos.
Totally.
It was a great photo.
But yeah, really good picture. What would make it better, I think, is like maybe some lasers. I think it's like it looks like it's ready for some lasers.
Maybe.
Or someone's sitting in that chair.
Jeff Goldblum popping up behind that building like Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay.
So
a
it's
huge Jeff Goldblum.
A huge Jeff Goldblum, but just from
his eyes.
From his eyes up.
I like it.
So
That is way better than
that's
that
a Photoshop I'm waiting for.
Yeah, you can
I'm
send
wait
that
right
in.
here. I'm
I
gonna
like
refresh
that.
my Twitter feed. So
You
tell
can
them.
email us your photography. Give us a little story about it. Tell us what device you took it on. Send it to tomorrow@cnet.com. You can also email us story ideas, tips and tricks, Game Genie codes, whatever. I don't care. And then of course, if you absolutely hate email because you're a youngin' and the kids hate email these days, you can find us on social media: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Tumblr. We are Tomorrow Daily on all those things. And we actually put up the Photographer of the Day on Tumblr. So if you want to make yourself a little Photoshop, you just head over there and grab it. What are you doing?
Refreshing my feed.
You're waiting for the Photoshop.
Nobody
I'm sorry.
sent it in. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Again, I read the comments last time, and they were all pretty spot on.
All pretty good?
Yeah, no cranky people.
No crabs?
Usually, I skip the YouTube comment section because they're cranky for absolutely no reason.
Well, it's because there's things on YouTube that make me mad. Make everybody mad.
There's just a bunch of anyway. And also, if you're listening, thank you, because that's a fun way to actually do the show. We try to be descriptive. If you're listening on the iTunes podcast, don't forget to rate and review, and also don't forget to follow us on our own personal Twitters.
Yeah, you can send your Photoshops over to @KillAnonymous, or if you want to just hit me up on the internet because I like talking to people on Twitter, you can find me at Ashley Esqueda. It's that easy. And of course, I'm going to let Kale finish doing this. If you want to send people the show, you can send them right over to tomorrowdaily.com. Easiest way to find us on the internet. And thank you for watching. We will be back tomorrow with a brand new docket of weird science, technology, future tech, robots, space, gaming, whatever we can find, geek, pop culture, all the stuff in between. But until then, be good humans. We'll see you next time. Bye.